9 right now says y equals -2 times x plus 3 squared. And I first want to put that in standard form. Okay. How do I get something from vertex form to standard form?
With equation.
Not really.
With formula.
Actually, no. And I picked up on what Austin said because this is a big misconception that students have. I give you the formula for standard form. Okay, I give you this on your formula sheet. Y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Because I want you to know that's what standard form looks like. But there's no way to look at this equation and say, oh, well, this number goes here, and this number goes here, and this number goes here. That's not how you get there. Okay, so it's not really a formula. It's not something where you're just plugging things into a formula. Olivia, what am I going to do?
The box.
I'm going to do the box or FOIL. So I'm going to start with this x plus 3 squared. Okay. And I'm going to write that parenthesis out twice.
And then you multiply the whole thing by 2.
Yeah, do the distributing or the FOIL first.
Can you distribute it to 1 though?
Yes. Okay, so yeah, so here's the mistake I see on this one. If you distribute right away and you make this -2x minus 6 and then square it, you're going to have -2x minus 6 and -2x minus 6. Then you're really multiplying by that -2 twice because it's in both of the parentheses. Okay, so normally I suggest to just go ahead with the FOIL first and then worry about the -2 later. Or if you prefer, you can distribute the -2 to just one of the parentheses, but leave the other one alone. Okay, whichever way is easier for you. So if I was going to do this with the box, because I know that's many of our preferences, x plus 3 would be x and 3, x and 3. This would become x squared, 3x, 3x, and 9. Okay. And then I can combine my 3x's, so when I put it back over here, I get y equals -2 times x squared plus 6x plus 9. And then what do I have to do?
Distribute the negative.
Distribute the -2. Yep, distribute, distribute, distribute. Y equals -2x squared minus 12x minus 18. And that's now in standard form. Now, a lot of these, like if you look at number 11 or number 14, see how these have numbers next to the y also? This one didn't. If there had been a number next to this y, what else would we have done? Subtract it or add it, depending on whether it was negative or positive. Move it to the other side. Okay? So for number 9 now, I can fill in that standard form is -2x squared minus 12x minus 18. Okay. Next question is the vertex. Any thoughts on how to get the vertex?
H and K.
H and K. Yeah, we already have this one in vertex form. Okay. So if it's already in vertex form, the vertex is just sort of sitting there for us. So to find the vertex, and you wouldn't necessarily have to write all of this out, but kind of doing this so you have a sort of a written record of how to do this. I would take, here's what vertex form looks like. And I would line up my equation with that. So I have y equals -2x plus 3 squared. And then the vertex is always your h and your k value. So, oh, Olivia, question?
What number are you doing?
This is still number 9.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just going across.
Oh.
Doing everything for number 9. So, what's my h value?
3.
Careful.
0.
Okay.
-2.
-3.
Dang it.
Okay. Remember that this should be a minus. So if it's a plus, that means that whatever number was plugged in there must have been negative, so that 2 negatives made a positive. So my h is actually -3. What's my k in this one?
0.
Yeah, I don't have a k value. If there was a number there with k, that would be it too. But your k value is 0. So your vertex is going to be -3, 0. Okay. Axis of symmetry, super easy.
-3.
Okay, and you have to say x equals. -3. Okay, so for axis of symmetry, you're just looking back at the vertex, and it's x equals your h value, whatever your h was from your vertex. Okay, both of these next two things, the direction of opening and whether it's wide or skinny, you look at your a value.
It's
What's a?
skinny. No.
It's a negative.
Okay, a is -2, and you could get that here or here. So because it's negative, it opens down.
And it's skinny.
Okay,
Wow.
and because the number, you're always comparing it to y equals 1x squared. So y equals 2x squared would grow twice as fast as 1x squared. So is that going to make it look wide or skinny?
Skinny.
Skinny, yep. Anytime that number is bigger than 1, it's going to be skinny. Now, does anyone have an issue with that? Because I just said the number has to be bigger than 1. Okay. All
It
right.
has to be the absolute.
Right, you're really looking at the absolute value, which just means you're looking at the number itself without looking at the negative sign. The negative sign just controls whether it goes up or down. Okay? The number itself, so the 2 is what you want to look at. Okay? And 2 is bigger than 1, so it's going to go twice as fast. Okay, for all of these next three things all kind of go together, have to do with the roots. For all of them, you're going to want to go back to standard form. Okay? So you've got the equation written two different ways. You want to make sure that you're using standard form to do these last three things. So to do the discriminant, how do I calculate the discriminant?
Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared. No,
Okay.
it's just the square root of b squared minus 4.
Okay, it's just b squared minus 4ac. That's your discriminant. So when I'm looking at, where did my equation go? There it is. When I'm looking at this equation, my b value is -12, and since I'm squaring it, what do I have to remember to do? Yep. So my discriminant would be -12 squared minus 4 times my a value, which is -2, times my c value, which is -18. Someone help me with that. Oops, I guess I should type it in the way you type it in. -12 squared.
That's under 0.
I thought it might come out to be 0 times -2 times -18. You get a discriminant of 0. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my table, fill in that my discriminant is 0. If my discriminant is 0, how many roots must I have?
1.
Okay, shh, Tyler. I'm in the middle of teaching right now. Thank you. How many square roots does 0 have?
1.
1. So that's why if the discriminant is 0, I have exactly 1 root. Okay? So that 1 root really is my x-intercept. Whoops, you can't see up there. That 1 root is my x-intercept. So x-intercept is just another name for root.
1.
Okay? Nope.
0, 1.
How do I find what my actual root is?
You plug in 1.
Nope.
Nice. You're gonna probably
How do I find roots?
square root.
Michaela?
Finish doing the quadratic formula.
Okay, so for finding the x-intercept or finding the roots, you're going to have to use the rest of the quadratic formula. Okay? X-intercepts and roots are the same thing, but you're going to have to go back and finish off that quadratic formula. So, let's see.
Is there gonna be a question like that on a test?
Sure. Yeah, quadratic formula is all over your test.
I don't know how to do that.
Quadratic formula is this. -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac
Over 2a.
over 2a.
Are
Whoops.
you gonna say when we have to find the quadratic formula, or are we just gonna have to know?
You have to use the quadratic formula anytime it asks you for a solution or a root. Okay? So it's not going to say use the quadratic formula. It's going to say one of those two things. Solve this equation or find the roots of this equation. Okay? So yeah, you should know that. Okay, let's look at our equation here. Where are we? All right. So negative b, my b is negative 12. So if I make my negative 12 negative, that's going to be positive 12. Plus or minus the square root of what?
0.
0, because I already found this, right? This b squared minus 4ac, I did that right here. So I can just plug in 0 for that whole thing.
So it's 0.
All over, nope, it's not going to be 0.
Nope.
2 times my a value, which is negative 2. Well, normally at this point we would split, okay? And we would do 12 plus this. What is the square root of 0?
0.
Just 0, right? So we would do 12 plus 0 over negative 4
Negative 3.
and 12 minus 0.
But it's the same thing.
Yep. But 12 plus 0, 12 minus 0 are the same thing, so we don't really have to do this second one in this case. A lot of the times you do have to.
Do we even have to add 0?
Nope. It's just 12 over negative 4, which is negative 3.
Right.
So your x-intercept is at negative 3.
Why does it say intercepts?
Whoops. Well, because some of them are going to have 2.
Okay.
So this number of roots is always going to be 2, 1, or 0. If it's one that's 0, if you have 0 roots, then you're not going to have any x-intercepts to find. Okay? So this said I was going to have 1 root. That's why I only had 1 answer here.
Got it.
Okay? All right. Pick one that's in actually, I think I'll stop this here, but then I do